Welcome back to the Dope Farm Podcast. This is Wynn, and I'm your host. So, I was listening to some podcasts today, and one of the ones I got to listen to, the guy that did the podcast was talking about medical supplies, and he kind of really just mentioned it in passing. Because that really wasn't the subject of his show for today. But he mentioned using maxi pads for medical supplies. And man, that is just one of those things that really gets to me because it's such a bad piece of information that's being put out. There are so many medical supplies available, whether you're getting them from Walmart or Dollar General or wherever. I mean, rolled gauze is very cheap. It can be had very easily. And with some rolled gauze, you can do some serious wound packing with that. You can also get some 4x4s, gauze and a pressure bandage, an ace wrap, and make basically the same kind of pressure dressing that you could buy, say like the Israeli or the Olas or something to that effect. And it's just such bad advice. It's a myth that's been going around for so long inside the prepper communities, and it's something that's got to stop. And so, as soon as I heard it, I paused it and went into their YouTube feed and left a message saying, hey, this is bad information. You need to stop. And I really respect the guy. I've met him. He's very knowledgeable, very smart in his field of endeavors. So it really was disappointing to hear him say that. So, I just wanted to kind of focus on what's out there. This is National Stop the Bleed Month. So, get out there, search around, try to find a place that does Stop the Bleed classes. Most of the time they're free. They show you how to use tourniquets, how to do wound packing, how to put on pressure dressings, how to work with the March algorithm. When broken down, stands for massive hemorrhage, airway control, respiratory support, circulation, hypothermia, or head injury. Now, I'm no expert, and I'm not going to go into detail about what each one of those are. If you really want to find out more information about that, I highly recommend seeking out the Civilian Medical Podcast. It is produced by Skinny Medic and Sean Heron of We Like Shooting podcast. They are both medical professionals. Dietrich, aka Skinny Medic, he is I don't know if he still is or has been a TAC medical. He works for the SWAT team somewhere down in South Carolina. And I want to say Sean, if I'm not mistaken, is an EMT, but I don't know for sure what their credentials are, but I do know that they're both currently serving medical professionals in the emergency medical field. So it's a great podcast. They have a lot of really good information. They've gone through the March algorithm step by step by step, and it's really good, and I highly recommend it. So, I mean, as far as sources of medical supplies, Dietrich, aka Skinny Medic, he actually has his own website that I put up a link on my webpage to his website and his web store rather, and like I say, there's a lot of great information, a lot of great resources there. He has some really good prices. I have no affiliation with him other than I listen to his podcast, and I've actually met him a couple times. Another good place is North American Rescue. I mean, North American Rescue is like the source for the cat tourniquet. I carry a Gen 7 cat tourniquet every day, a packet of H&H compressed gauze, and a North American Rescue mini compression bandage. I can't speak tonight. And so he carries all those products. Like I say, North American Rescue is a good source. A website called Rescue Essentials. They have a really good site, and they have good, decent prices. Dark Angel Medical is another one. So there are a lot of great resources out there. If you're not getting medical training, again, that's one of my holes, I guess you could say, holes in my preps training. I have a good friend, or someone that has become a good friend, who is actually a current medic in the United States Army National Guard for the state of North Carolina. And I've had the opportunity to have him do a Stop the Bleed class, which was really good. Unfortunately, he's going to be deploying here shortly, so I won't get much opportunity to go and train with him. He is putting on a class with NC Scout of the Brush Beater blog in June. It's probably full at this point. I was really hoping I would be able to make it to that, but I do not believe I will be able to, just because of work constraints. So another aspect of medical is just, bracing yourself for what could be there. And I hate to reference Skinny Medic so much, but he's just a good source of information. He actually put up a video yesterday, I believe it was, of a motorcycle accident, which I believe was in Europe. And the guy was riding a motorcycle, and I think the backstory is he got cut off or bumped or something, and he went sliding. And it looked like to me the signpost, he hit the signpost, and it completely severed his left leg. I mean, completely severed it off his body. It actually slid away from it. And people were just standing around. And it was just like, nobody knew what to do. They didn't know. And fortunately for him, one of the bystanders fashioned a tourniquet out of something. It was probably a belt. I mean, it's like everybody's go-to. But I think once EMTs or, emergency medical services got on site, they actually put a standard, looked like a cat tourniquet. It might have been a NATO or a soft T or something like that. So, I mean, having a tourniquet, I carry a pistol pretty much everywhere I go, all the time, every day, no matter where I go. But there are places you can't carry. But something I also carry every day is that that Gen 7 cat, a pressure dressing, and the gauze, because whether I'm at church or in the bank or at my kid's school, it doesn't matter. You're more likely to run into a situation where you need medical supplies more so than you need a gun. Not saying that I'm going to stop carrying my gun, because I don't think I'll ever need it, because again, you don't ever know when you're going to need it. So carry everywhere, carry medical supplies, get some training. There's no excuse in this day and age that you cannot get proficient with medical training. Like I say, again, I think I said it previously, reiterate it again. This is National Stop the Bleed Month. It is currently May 15th, and we're halfway through the month, and I can guarantee you, if you go search it out, you can find somewhere that has a Stop the Bleed class for free. So don't delay, just do it. Something else I want to touch on while thinking about it, there's a large amount of counterfeit medical gear out there. The cat tourniquet, for some reason, seems to be the most duplicated and counterfeited tourniquet out there. I've not really heard of anybody doing any of the other ones. It just seems to be the cat tourniquet, and you get them off eBay for like $7. There's some Amazon, or not Amazon, but some Facebook pages that sell a knockoff, and it is not the real deal. Make sure that you get one from a reputable source. All the ones I listed previously are very reputable. Of course, American Rescue, they make it, so you can't get, if you get it from the source, you really can't go wrong. So it's kind of short. I'm going to wrap it up. It's getting late, and I just wanted to thank you to any of you guys that are out, guys or gals out there that are listening. I appreciate it. Any feedback is welcome. My email address is thedopefarmpodcast@protonmail.com. I do now have a Patreon. I'm on YouTube. I use Spreaker as my main feed. I'm on iTunes. So I'm available. I'm out there. If you message me from the website, which is thedopefarmpodcast.com, I will respond probably pretty quickly. I'm constantly checking my mail. So again, it's short. I've not quite got my format down. So for now, it's just off the cuff, what's on my mind, what I've run into during the day. And so maybe I won't do a weekly 30-minute show, but you may end up getting a daily 15-minute show. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work out. So just subscribe. Go to YouTube and search out the Dope Farm Podcast, and subscribe and ring the bell. I'd be grateful for anybody to come over to Patreon and pledge $1, $2 a month. I have, my tiers are pretty low. And having said that, I want to wish you all a wonderful evening. God bless you, and God bless America.